For all that is tuning in, I am the host that goes by the name of James Hatcher, and I would like to thank you for being present for another episode of this radio special titled Food for Thought, airing on WPPM 106.5 Philadelphia and broadcasted on the cable networks of Comcast Xfinity, Channel 66, 966, Verizon Fios, Channel 29 and 30, Roku, and Apple TV, which is also promoted as PhillyCam TV. You can watch the live stream, listen, and watch exclusive episodes of various contents when you go online to phillycam.org. As respects to PhillyCam is a community based collective of creative and inspirational individuals that work together and a unified family oriented like structure and collaborate their meaningful ideas and share it to the rest of the world through the combination of media. Joining me will be a performing and recording artist known as BlckChld, who's not only has a pleasurable voice but also makes the message within the lyrical verse of each of her songs impressionable and heartfelt. So, in this edition of Food for Thought, the theme of the topic is to practice something initially for personal satisfaction, but receiving a long lasting interest from others as a result. As an individual reflects on the awareness of just being an actuality of consciousness, the desire of expressing oneself with the notion of importance becomes self evident. The importance is only essential as the synergy between the individuals and the amenities that the environment provides is in synchronization for production, thus projecting the qualities of manifestation outwardly by the individual exemplifies as the anticipation to make such activity is applied. In societies where there are continual opportunities to present products and accessories that corresponds with the necessity to maintain well-being, the interest of what is promoted to others is assured. And that is the food for thought of this episode. We will take a short music break and return afterwards.
Alrighty, you guys are listening to WPPM 106.5. This is BlckChld with Heartbreaker. I should be, I should be, nah, nah. I should be, I should be, I should be on my best behavior, but I won't tell if you don't. Said I'm a heartbreaker, and you're willing and you're able. I take you when you're ready to go. So face me, don't run. Listen, I know you're scared, but I don't bite. Unless it's what you like, yeah, unless it's what you like. So you know that I'm creeping and you doubt what your heart say. As I give you reason to think what you thinking. You don't know what to feel when you in the streets. Saying things about me. Shit, but you never leave. You believe what I tell you, but now what your friends do. When you know that they right, but they go your ego. I told you about your pride, but I know that's why you never ever leave. I see it too attached to me. So every chance I get, I'm gonna gaslight. Tell you that you're wrong, even if it feels right. Say everything to get you back on my side. Then I take your time to get it. It's last time, oh, said I'm a heartbreaker and you know it. No, oh, I'm a heartbreaker and it's you, it's you. So I break you down, but you love when we up. You know that we feel out of touch. You call me, I'm all out of luck. I distort your perception of love. You know that I don't give you much. You run around with my name, clinging to what? I ain't someone you could love. I ain't nobody to trust. I'm creeping and get down with your heart say. Cause I give you reason to think what you're thinking. You don't know what to feel when you in the streets. Everything's about me. Said, but you never leave. You believe what I tell you, but not what your friends do. When you know that they right, but they go your ego. I told you about your pride, but I know that's why you never ever leave. I see you too attached to me. You're too attached to me. And I should be. I should be. Yeah. But I'm a heartbreaker and you know it. So nah. So baby, don't run. When you know what this is, yeah. Nah. Yeah, nah.
Once again, you're listening to WPPM LP Philadelphia 106.5 FM. I am James Hatcher, the host of the radio special Food for Thought. And now joining me is the special guest known as BlckChld. How you doing, BlckChld?
I'm doing pretty good.
It's good to see you.
It's good to see you.
It's good to be seen. Yeah. So, how did you start off as far as like getting into the music? Um, like when how did you start off with like getting into the music as far as having um the natural endowment to be able to know that the music was part of you and everything like that and part of your destiny.
Well, my mom loves to tell people that when I was 5 months old, she would come in my room and I'd be humming myself to sleep, trying to fall asleep as a baby. So I've been singing for almost my whole life. I
Hmm.
grew up singing songs as a kid with my mom and my grandma. They're also beautiful singers. My grandfather was also a great singer. So I come from a family of singers. As far as being an instrumentalist, I started playing violin when I was about 8.
Okay.
And then every string instrument just followed after that. I started learning to play everything by ear.
So the music is a part of your life, like part of something that you felt at a young age that was part of your destiny, and that was part of your being, like that's part of you, not just something that you project outside or something that you just feel like you have to fill in your time or just have a purpose, even though that's part of your purpose.
Yeah.
But you felt like that that is part of your being, no matter if it if you learned it. But to me it seems like when I watch you outside of here, that's what drawing me to you, just seeing how you played, how you project your voice and the message within your voice. There's a big distinction of people that individuals that project the music, put it out there, for, I would say, in a sense, like some type of validation. Whereas when I perceive your performance and everything, it seems like there's an essence in you that you do it for the love of it first, and everything else it tracks to that. It's something that's built in you. This is what I read when I first like heard you and everything. Now I heard you before I introduced myself. It was times I would go to your show or whatever like that, and I would just listen and everything, but I always pick that up about you. Your words, the way that you express your music is something um that I feel. like it's something that has to come out. It can't be bottled up.
Yeah, it's like an itch I gotta scratch.
Yeah, so it's a natural endowment that you have, which is very commendable, compared to, I mean, some individuals that may consider themselves artists, and they might have, the ability to write music or whatever like that. But it's something that it seems like when they project it, it's a form of, they put it out there as a validation. And that's the distinguishment that I see, when I listen, because I love music, that's a part of me as
Mhm.
well. But it's just something that, pulls out the authenticity of, various artists. So, I had to ask that question because to me, you're very special.
Thank you.
Even the name, Black Child, like how did you come up with that name, Black Child?
Um, when I was 15 years old, it was right after my grandfather had passed, who was also the musician, and it was a bout of time where we were seeing police brutality in the media. As far as social media is concerned, we were seeing it at a um, mass movement now because social media had been so advanced in that period of time. So we're seeing Trayvon Martin, we're seeing Mike Brown, we're seeing all these people, especially young Black people, getting killed, and that's all growing up. That's all we would see
Hmm.
is how the media would demonize us or dehumanize us.
Right.
Um, so it was about my sophomore year in school. I had just turned 16 the summer before, um, or going into my junior year. I had wrote this song called BlckChld, um, spelled phonetically correct, and
Hmm.
I performed it at our African American history assembly.
Now, what do you mean by phonetically
So
correct?
it's spelled correctly BlckChIld.
Okay, that's how you spell your
That
name.
that's how the song is spelled. So the song is spelled correctly, but my name is spelled differently. It's without the vowels.
Okay, and
Um,
what's the reason for the name to be different from?
so when I wrote the song, and I performed the song, one of the assistant principals, Mr. Chambers, he would walk through the highway and he'd say, "What's up, Black Child?" And
Hmm.
everybody started calling me that, kind of stuck. And I thought to myself, um, there's kind of a distinguishing um, aspect about growing up Black. You kind of have this internal conflict with yourself.
Hmm.
Like there's a piece missing, there's something missing that you kind of chase down throughout your life into adulthood. And I thought, like, if I take something out of the name, would it still be readable? Would people be able to read what it says? So I thought it was really cool to take the vowels out of my name and say that, there might be something missing, but that doesn't make you unwhole. Doesn't
Okay,
make you without.
to me, like just looking at the name, like I'm like it's kind of mysterious, and I think that's kind of catchy. Now to me, what is the reason outside of you spelling your name the way you spelled it, and the reason why you spelled your name in that way? Why do you think some individual music artists spell their name with just their regular name and then their name? Because I do this, but at the same time I'm a performing artist, and I
Mhm.
decide to just say, my name is James Hatcher. That's how my song is out and everything, compared to like back in the day I would use certain type of other alias,
Mhm.
different types of names and stuff like that, that was kind of compared to an object, but I'm like,
Yeah.
nah, I'm not an object. So to you, what do you think is the reason why like some individuals may use their regular name compared to, people that use like a certain type of alias as a significance to make like, is it like to make a certain type of message within that name, or is it like with the intention to get like some type of like impression from others? Do you think the way that you put your name out there to the
Yeah, I
audience would draw that a certain type of attention? Like,
yeah, I definitely think it varies per artist. Me personally, I'm a namesake, so I was named after somebody. So my name is very worldwide. Like a lot of people have my government name, which is Ayodele, which means
what?
Ayodele. It's spelled AYO.
Alodele?
Ayodele, with it's Yoruba, so it means joy has come home in Yoruba. So
So you said a lot of people had that
a
name.
lot of people have the name Nayo, Ayo. or things like that, variations of that name. So I
But
was
that's
named
the
after.
first time I ever heard it.
Yeah, see, it's
So
West,
that's
but
wild.
amongst the West African community, it's very familiar. It's and
Now
it,
I'm aware of a Yoruba,
yeah,
but as far as that name, I
and it's
never heard
also a
it.
unisex name. So there are men that are named Ayomide, Ayodele.
Okay,
There's Ayofemi. Like there's a lot of different variations because when you change the dialect, our names are sentences. So
okay,
it's Joy has come home. Ayo is just Joy.
okay,
So Dele is has come home. It's
oh,
the complete sentence.
okay. So
So
your
for
background.
my parents are originally British citizens, but they moved to West Africa in their adolescence. But my family is we're originally from West Africa. There's just a lot of moving and
So you're originally
intertwining.
from West Africa?
My parents were born in the UK. My dad left when he was about 3. My mom left when she was about 11.
Uh
They
huh.
met at 16 and 17 in West Africa, in Sierra Leone and Freetown.
Okay.
Um, they've been dating since they were 16 and 17. My dad came in the late 90s or the early 90s. My
Uh
mom followed a couple years after. And then they had me and my brothers all in South Jersey. So
South Jersey.
we're all first generation.
They made sure they came over here to have y'all first.
Yeah, I think it's definitely, and a lot of people know about the war that was happening in West Africa in the early
Okay.
90s. So they were really moving to escape the war. And like they obviously knew that they wanted to be together, but it's not easy to build a family during a war,
Right.
or maintain one, as we can see in the media now.
Okay. So a lot of the culture from over there, do they instill it in you? They must have.
Yeah, most definitely. I grew up very traditionally African. You know, it's different because obviously I grew up American as well, and I have a
Hmm.
lot of different viewpoints than my parents. But down the line, I think I'm more against the grain than my brothers. But we've had a lot of mutual exchanges about life here and life there. Because
Okay.
my parents also had some reservations about, how the government is there and what home is
Right.
like over there.
So what about your spiritual background?
I grew up Episcopalian.
Okay.
Um, and then we changed churches. But as far as the culture in Sierra Leone, it's very like non-denominational,
Okay.
agnostic. Half of my family is Muslim, so I've been to mosque. I've seen people celebrate Eid, and vice versa. They support us through whatever our beliefs are. It's not partisan like in the States where you might see some religious conflict. They don't really have that over there.
Okay. So do the music from, you said West Africa, right?
Hmm.
Does that play like a role in how like you write your music here? Like, the style that you write your music. Is there any aspect of like, the different influences from West
Um,
African music? Have you ever incorporated
It's crazy
that?
because we definitely, as West Africans, we listen to music from everywhere. Nigerian music,
Okay.
Ghanaian music. We also listen to South African music. I know I'm on piano is very popular now, but we grew up listening to Brenda Fassie. My mom's a big Brenda Fassie fan.
Hmm.
So I grew up listening to a lot of South African music, and the inflections of their voice is just, it's amazing, especially her. I feel like singing in another language or listening to music in other languages
Uh-huh.
builds some kind of other storage site for what you hear, compared to American music, because it's kind of regurgitated, to be
Right.
honest. And when you hear music from other cultures, other languages, you kind of get that new spark of, oh, that sounds a little different, or they sing this progression like this.
And it might be a better way to learn the language,
Yeah,
even though you don't know what you're saying.
yeah,
You just listen to the song and you repeat it, and then you try to conversate the verses or the lyrics.
yeah,
You got to be careful of that though,
yeah.
because it might be offensive.
There's actually a really popular song, Premier Gawu, a lot of West Africans know, and in recent years it's come out that the song is about a heartbreak, and he's talking about losing his girlfriend. But it's a song that we've danced to in parties. It seems like a very lively song, but a lot of people didn't know the words and
Okay.
what they meant. So,
Okay. So you as a performing recording artist, um, and your background influence, what genre which best defines the style of music that you produce? What type of genre would you say your style is, or do you don't categorize it with the mainstream conventional categories of genre?
I wouldn't say my music is conventional. A lot of people would say I'm an R&B artist because I'm a singer
Okay.
and I'm Black, but
Okay.
I wouldn't say I conventionally do R&B. I do a lot of cross genre where I
Right.
might have some African accents in some of my music, or country. I grew up listening to a lot of folk music and bluegrass,
Right.
or alternative EDM, things like that.
Right. Yeah, because I kind of picked that up too. I'm like, yo, she don't really sound like, the
Yeah.
conventional like R&B, commercialized like, the mainstream
Yeah.
R&B. Matter of fact, even if you put yourself next to like one of the commercialized R&B singers, uh
Yeah, it wouldn't even make sense, because
yeah,
I think I'm a little more radical than like what conventional R&B is.
yeah. So, how long have you been like? Okay, are you in Philly area or you're in Jersey?
I've
What?
lived in Philly for about almost 6 years now. I've been in the Philly area on the music scene.
Okay, all right.
So
So, since you're in Philly, Philadelphia, they say we're the city of love.
yeah.
And to me, I'm a Philly native, even though I was born on the outskirts, and I'm family oriented. So, do you feel like this city has become part of, like, the people that you connect with? A lot of the people you may connect with in Philadelphia have grown to the family oriented type vibration with them,
Most
where
definitely.
it feels like this is part of your home as well.
Most definitely, yeah.
Okay.
There's not. I'm not gonna hate on Jersey, but a lot of artists are from Jersey and don't claim Jersey. That's why you never knew like Whitney Houston and like things like that. Like
Oh,
people don't know
okay.
that she's from Jersey.
Yeah.
But yeah, there wasn't really a music community. Granted, there's a lot of artists now in South Jersey where I grew up and I went to high school with, and they all make music.
Uh-huh.
But as far as like me being a musician and an instrumentalist, like I was like the only one like doing solos during concerts or anything.
Okay.
Not to say that I was the first to do. I probably wasn't the first, but who wanted to cultivate a musical experience from adolescence to adulthood. Like I was probably the only one, and I didn't really have any older peers or role models to invest in that until I came to Philly.
Okay.
Because now I have all my constituents and all my friends, they're closer to 30 than they are to 20. So
Right.
I have a lot of older people now that kind of look out for me in terms of music, and like even this guitar. Shout out to Chris Cargo. He gave me this guitar when my Fender got stolen. So
That's a nice guitar.
yeah.
So what kind of guitar is that?
This is an Ibanez RG as a
Okay.
flat neck, so it's more so for people who like to play like the blues, or it took
Okay.
a while to get used to because the Fender has a curved neck.
Uh-huh.
So
Okay. Do you mind if you can give us the listeners another good song?
yeah.
All right. So once again, you're listening to James Hatcher, 106.5 WPPM, Food for Thought, and we'll be right back.
Alrighty. You guys are listening to WPPM 106.5 FM. And this is BlckChld. I'm going to give you guys Party Girls. Ooh. Said I've been telling you, give me your friends. Said I've been telling you, give me your friends. Oh. Said I've been telling you, you and your friends been wildin', but you pretty sweet thing profiling. Now you're sitting in the corner crying, I can't take your pain, no. Things ain't the same, oh. And now you're calling me, telling me that you need me, but this ain't what you seen on TV. I'm too tired cause life ain't easy, I can't take your pain, no. Things ain't the same, no. And now you got me thinking, maybe I could fix it, oh no. Well, I'm feeling real strange and I'm acting real distant, no. Just tell me what's love, baby, tell me what this is, oh no. It's not what you did, but you're telling me you didn't know. It's got me running from my mind. I'm running from my mind, my mind. I'm running from my mind, yeah. Running from my mind, my mind. See, listen, I don't wanna be right here. I don't wanna be the one to catch your tears. No, you leave me lonely when you disappear. When you hide away, you don't wanna face your fears. So why should I care when you don't wanna go there? See, you don't ever wanna go there. So we leave it in the air. You know they told me nice guys finish last. You're naive and I'm still bad. You break things and then next day, yeah, it's so sad. You got me thinking maybe I could fix it. Oh no, I'm feeling real strange and I'm acting real distant. Oh, just tell me what's love, baby. Tell me what this is. Oh no, it's not what you did, but you're telling me you didn't. It's got me running from my mind, yeah, running from my mind, my mind. I'm running from my mind. Ooh, no, 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 no. See, I've been telling you and your friend. Girl, I've been telling you and your friends.
I can actually imagine myself being in that situation that you're speaking. What you think is the reason why some people can listen to your music and feel like that song is meant for like them?
Okay. A lot of people say I make lover girl music.
Uh
They would
huh.
say. So a lot of my music has to do um the woes of love.
Okay.
So
Common experience.
yeah, very common experiences. Basically how like anybody would, especially young people are really not taught how to deal with heartbreak. Um,
Right.
so I kind of sing about like this experiences you would have if you don't know how to conceptualize somebody just not wanting you anymore or
Okay.
somebody being selfish.
Is there a particular type of venue that you prefer to perform in?
I prefer intimate venues. It could be a lot of people, but I want
Okay.
it to be an intimate space. It could be 100 people packed into a room,
Okay.
but I would want them to be able to experience whatever I'm doing with me.
Okay.
Rather than like I'm sitting on stage and they're paying to come see me because I feel like people idolize people too much.
Okay. So you said like 100 people, like
Mhm.
in a packed room
In a
or a
packed room.
packed lodge. Okay. What about like 100 people, like in a widespread environment? Like, what is the setting that you prefer to perform in regards to being inside and outside with those 100 people? Would you rather be like outside with like 100 people compared to, where there's more space and everything? They just, doing their daily routine
Mhm.
and can hear you while they're doing their daily routine instead of being in a packed room where everybody is just zoomed in, you know,
Yeah.
with really not too much stuff on the outside to
Yeah.
incorporate, their routine or their lifestyle with, as far as like if you performing outside, maybe like in a marketplace,
Yeah.
that might be a little bit more
Yeah.
effective, with people, indulging into whatever else is around them
Most definitely.
instead of just being in like, a
Up close.
lodge
Yeah.
with those same 100 people. What do you think is like more effective? Like,
I
which one
think
would you prefer?
I think everybody gets distracted when they're at a concert. Nobody's paying attention 100% of the time. You might get a text, you might get something. But
Hmm.
I've grown to love street performing in the way that I can catch people in their thoughts. I can catch people going to work. They might be late. They'll stop and be like, "Dang, I really like that song
Right.
that you're singing."
Right.
And that I think is more of the instant gratification, that more fulfillment that I crave in terms of music, that marketing side. Because a lot of people walk past and say, "I don't have change," but next time I say, and I'm like, the
I
compliment
got
is
you.
enough. The
Yeah.
compliment is enough. The fact that you stopped and said something to me was I fulfilled my goal.
Right.
I
And
made you listen to me, and that's what
right.
I need.
Right.
So you might be in a space with 100 people, and it might be an intimate space, but somebody's gonna get a text,
But it's
somebody's gonna have a
I don't
sidebar.
like I don't think with that experience, on my experience,
Hmm.
like in that type of thing, I'm an illustrative artist as well, and I get that same type of response once in a while. And I feel like, being out there in the public versus me Being like, at a like an art show inside,
Hmm.
I'm more personal with people that's gone
Yeah.
on their daily, transition to wherever they're going, like, being out in public and stuff like that. I have more time, to talk to them and be more personal.
Yeah.
Do you feel that way instead of like if you're performing on stage in a group of like in a indoors with like
Yeah.
100 people? Do
I
you
think it's
think you'll have more opportunity to reach more of the people out there, like just walking by and everything like
definitely
that?
more
And
more
it's
people
more
street
intimate
performing.
for them. It's
Yeah.
more intimate for them.
Yeah, I've had people like stop on their way somewhere, like start crying and tell me like my grandma used to play that song all the time, and like I might really catch them. And that's the beauty of street performing because I do a lot of originals, but I also do a lot of covers
Uh
and a
huh.
lot of older covers that people probably haven't heard, like slapped on the radio or put into their whatever streaming service they use. They probably haven't heard the song, and like I might sing "A King of Wishful Thinking," um and somebody be like, damn, I haven't heard that song since I was a teenager. Like, I really
Right.
like that. As opposed to me being in a room, I feel like being on stage is intimidating for a lot of viewers. That's why I have to tell people during my set, like, if you didn't get my social media, if you want to
Hmm.
come talk to me, like, please do. Like, I'm a regular person just like you guys. We can have a conversation if you want to ask me about my artistry,
Right.
because it's a lot harder.
To set up on stage,
Yeah,
like, do you
to
have
set
to
up on
have
set.
you have your like your um daily environment that you like
Hmm.
to perform in
Yeah,
because you have your individuality, plus
yeah,
maybe individuals listeners are used to you being there,
yeah.
so if you're not there after
They
maybe a
notice.
while.
They know.
Yeah.
I keep telling people I'm about to get oral surgery.
D-
They're like, "You're not gonna be here for a week and a half."
so they start complaining or
Yeah.
something like
They're
that.
like, "Somebody else came and played in your spot, and I don't even." And I'm like, "I can't. I'm not here all the time. Like, I don't hear.
Yeah.
I'm only here for like 4 or 5 hours a day."
Yeah.
But I kind of make it a point to tell people, like, if they're looking for me, if they want to come and talk to me about an event they have or want to get any more information from me, I'm usually there every day. So they
Right.
can come and find me. And I think that's a beautiful thing because I've built a lot of rapport with the community.
Right.
I'll be in North Philly and some old head will ride past on a bike. And I'm like, aren't you that girl that sings downtown? I'm like,
Yeah.
yeah, that is me. Or I got my Uber one time and my Uber driver was like, aren't you that girl who sings Zombie downtown? And I'm like,
Yeah.
yeah, like I'm not Philly famous. So
Yeah.
it's like
Yeah. It gets
it's
around.
yeah, it
Like
gets around.
even
It's very cool.
yeah, like even when I'm outside of here and I'm like displaying my art, it's been several times, people then drove up playing my music.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what? Oh man, it's a good
Yeah.
feeling. Okay, so is there a specific way that you may decorate your setting? Um if the setting is for the purpose of an on stage performance.
Okay. On stage performance, I prefer great lighting.
Okay.
I like a lower light.
Uh-huh.
I want to make that kind of that intimate space
Are
where
you trying to make us blush up in here
yeah.
with the lighting?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I definitely like that intimate lighting.
Okay. So what
Um
about outside?
Outside,
Do you like to be outside with like a roof over your head, or would you rather like have it like just the open space
I prefer like an outside but enclosed space. I do.
with a roof over your head just in case it
I
start
can't just be out in the elements. I
like
kind of like I need a wall to my back. I need to be able to see because Philly is that kind of city. Like
yeah.
you'll see some crazy stuff during the day.
Yeah, yeah, oh yeah.
So
Yeah.
I definitely prefer like I like the ruggedness of street performing as well. I've grown to like it because it's built a lot of character. There's a lot of
Really?
settings that like I couldn't imagine anybody else just being in. Like I've been accosted by people on drugs. Like
Yeah, so
I've seen a lot of crazy things.
how do you balance the many various different personalities that you may encounter like during like the day of performance and keep it balanced without like, you know, getting like overwhelmed with like, certain type of individuals that might have like, a behavior that you're not expecting them to have. Like
Um,
I mean,
it's just adaptation. I also grew up as a martial artist. Yeah, I'm jack of many trades. So
yeah.
I grew up doing sport karate.
Okay.
Universal martial artist because I've done jujitsu, I've done
Okay.
taekwondo, I've done Kyokushinkai, Shotokan,
But I think
Jutsu.
but you don't really have, that type of
demeanor. Like, yeah,
Nah, not the demeanor, but you don't have to have that type of like experience because
yeah, you just
your
have to have some
music,
situational awareness
yeah, like
for real.
I think with the type of music that you have, maybe like somebody that's usually like spontaneous
Yeah,
with doing something wild,
I
they
definitely calmed
listen
a
to
lot of
you.
people down.
Okay, that's what's
Most
up.
definitely.
That's what's
I've
up.
definitely calmed a lot of people down. Like, I see somebody acting crazy, and like I'm the type, when I see crazy stuff in the street, I
Do
don't
they hear
feed into it.
they
I
hear
kind
your
of,
music
yeah, I kind of mind my business. So like when I'm singing a song, they're like, "Wow, that's a nice
and you
song,"
can see the
and then they'll go
change in
down the
it?
street and start acting crazy again. So
That's what's up.
yeah,
Okay, so yeah, so when performing in a public live venue, is there a specific tactic that you may use to keep the attention of the audience? Like, what do you do to keep the attention of the audience?
it's crazy because uh I have a set. A
Uh
lot
huh.
of people street perform and they just kind of wing it. But
Hmm.
I have a set that I've cultivated, whether
So
that
it's like
be
an eye catcher.
yeah, I start, it depends because I usually start in the morning.
Hmm.
Everybody's either going to work or just finished breakfast and now going to work, or they're coming from the hotel, and whatever they're doing, it's too early in the morning to be playing raunchy music or playing high speed music. So I play a lot of light, folk. I might play a little bluegrass. I might play singer songwriter type
Okay.
songs, sing those
Early in the
songs
morning.
early in the morning. Then as I progress, I might play a little more rugged music, things that make people dance or make people more excited. So you just
Go
have to
along with the
yeah,
traffic.
and you kind of have to visualize who's in the space at what time,
Right.
because I might get a crowd of high schoolers.
Right.
What songs do high schoolers like? You got to kind
Right.
of think of that. And then I might have a senior citizens group coming from a senior living home.
Hmm.
What's an old, so they love Stand By Me. So like I'm
Okay.
gonna sing that song. So you so you
Okay.
kind of have to think about like your environment. I've had people ask me why I'm singing a certain song, and I'm like, this is like a melting pot, because where I perform on the weekends, like it's tourists,
Right.
and mind you, it's like people who don't could barely understand English. Like they're asking me for directions,
Right.
but they recognize popular American songs.
Right.
So it's like you definitely have to pay attention to who's around, what's going on that day, what the environment's like. I have a lot of regulars that ask me to sing songs that they've heard, or even originals.
Uh
There's
huh.
people who come up to me, can you play that one song of yours that I really like? And I'll
Uh
know
huh.
exactly what song they're talking about.
Okay. So did it take a while for you to get to that point of the public relations?
No, it didn't. It was like it was an instant thing, and that's why I kept doing it, because I had a lot of support from the community. Just
So
building
you
rapport.
automatically knew, like, the time to play a
Yeah.
certain type of
Yeah.
music and everything like
Yeah,
that. It didn't
I
take a
it
while.
didn't it didn't even, cuz I used to busk in a different location, and they probably would like to hear more of like the softer side of music.
Right.
So when I came down like into the city and like had to kind of incorporate that nitty-gritty high speed type of music, um it was definitely like a game changer, because like now I'm like, okay, I can play every different genre out here. It's always going to be somebody who wants to hear my song.
Yeah.
And there would be people that were looking for, like, I heard you coming out of my job today. I didn't think you were here.
Hmm.
And then they hear me and they'll come down the street and tip me.
That's what's up.
So it's just about like really building rapport. I think I've been a very personable person my whole life.
Hmm.
Um, it's crazy because there's one guy that works at the hotel down the street, and he says, "You know everybody's name. I've been here 10 years. I don't know anybody's name, but you know everybody's name." I'm
Wow.
like, "Yeah, because everybody comes to talk. I'm there for 5 hours. I'm gonna see almost everybody every
So
day."
you feel a part of that
Yeah,
atmosphere.
yeah.
It then grew on to
That's
you,
why
and
like people know when I'm not there. They can feel like something's
yeah.
missing.
Is that does do you feel like that's like part of a security for you
Definitely.
to make you feel like you always have something
Yeah,
attributive to your growth and development and your
definitely.
success
Definitely.
and everything like that?
I would always give part of my artistry to that, because like I said, it's built a lot of character, especially because you're dealing with a lot of different people. Like
Right.
granted, I consider myself a great musician, a great singer. I put a lot of effort into being that. So it's
Right.
like anybody could do what I'm doing, but a lot of people think I'm great at it. And that's a beautiful thing in itself, because it's hard to get people to like what you're doing or like you.
Right.
And people in this city will tell you that they don't like what you're doing. They'll tell you, they'll
Right.
really be like, nobody
Right.
wants to hear that.
And I
Please turn
think
that
that's
off.
the difference between what I was mentioning earlier between individuals that may go out there with a sense of they have to feel like they have to have a
Yeah.
validation
Yeah.
compared to somebody that just individual artist that just do it for the
Yeah.
genuine feeling of it.
That's the
It's
thing
like
about
with vibrations, it's dealing
yeah.
with vibrations.
That's the thing about being there every day.
Hmm.
Because there are people who come in the summer
Right.
and that come on the weekends and oh, I want to play. I want to play one day of the week. And
Okay.
I'm there every day. There's
Right.
people who see me every day. There's people who see me when it's 32 degrees outside. People see me when it's snowing, pouring rain. It's too hot to even be
Right.
outside with clothes on.
Is there times where you feel like, in the beginning, just waking up, you don't feel like being out there,
Of
but once
course.
once you get out there, it's like a
Yeah.
change, and it's like more
Yeah.
satisfying.
Yeah. It's definitely satisfying. Like once it's like any other job.
Hmm.
No matter how passionate you are about your job, it's like any other job. Some days
Right.
you're not gonna want to do it. And some
Right.
people aren't built to work.
Right.
So,
Right.
and
Right.
like I made my passion work thinking that it wasn't gonna be like work, but it still is. You still have to build whatever you're gonna do for the next. I have to plug up all my stuff. I have to make sure I got batteries in the morning. I gotta put all my waters in the I gotta make sure everything is okay because by the time I get down there, there's no going back. And I
Right.
have to have everything I need for the day.
Right.
So it's definitely some days where I'm like, I don't want to do it. But
Right.
it's like that's what's gonna push me, feeding my artistry
Right.
every day. That because the act of trying is all we can do sometimes.
Right.
Like I might not have $1 million, but
Right.
I can move towards
And
it.
at least
I'll be a little closer.
At least you're doing something.
Yeah.
That's
Young people my
that's
age are
going to
not.
have a positive, uh, effect on your whole day instead
Yeah.
of just letting the
I
day
don't
go
have
by.
any. Yeah, I don't have any
Oh
money.
man.
I didn't do anything today. And it's like,
Yeah.
well, I could have did something productive. That's
Yeah.
why when a lot of people give me that negativity, even the people, the community around me will check those people before I even have to say anything.
Right.
Because they're like, she's a young woman. You don't
Right.
even see young
Right.
women doing that.
Right.
So it's like you don't see young women doing that. She's young. She's doing something positive. She's giving back to the community.
Mhm.
She's building herself off of this because I've gotten a lot of shows. Even the show I have on Friday,
Okay.
I met this artist busking. She
Okay.
came over, I was singing a song. She was like, I love that song. I sing it all the time. And I didn't know who this girl was. I met a lot of celebrities, as you would say, people
Right.
who have a great following. And
Mhm.
I don't know who they are. And like,
Right.
I'm not one to idolize people. But those are the best people that have come up to me. It's always the locals who will say, I'm the best rapper in Philly. You don't even know who I am. It's like those are people you kind of have to push to the side
Yeah.
because the real artists who want to feed your artistry, who want to support you as a younger artist or a less known artist, they will do that without
Right.
name dropping or saying I'm better than you or I've been places you haven't been. They
Right.
won't do that.
Do you consider yourself a self-taught artist with a musical inclination of sound, or have you ever used the informative resources provided by an instructor who was also considered a seasoned musical artist for the purpose of enhancing a natural ability that you already have of making music?
I just want to give a shout out to Miss Leonardo because I definitely grew up playing the violin from 3rd grade all the way through middle school.
Okay.
And I remember in middle school, she had this nylon string guitar
Hmm.
that was in the corner where all the violins were. So when you come in, if you have a half lunch, a half orchestra class, you're
Uh-huh.
supposed to eat your lunch and then go into the orchestra room or the band room and go get your violin and then go in and play for like whatever time period.
Hmm.
I used to skip lunch, like skip the first half of lunch or eat lunch early and then go in there and run in there and try and play the guitar and figure out the notes.
Right.
And it used to piss her off. Like she got mad so many times. And then one day she's like, you really want to know how to play that thing? And I'm like, I got something for you. And she actually orchestrated for me to have a solo during our next, I think it was a winter concert, and have the orchestra back me. And I played Passengers Let Her Go.
Okay.
And that was like when I was like, I want to say like 10 or 11.
Okay.
No, it wasn't middle school. So it was probably like 11, 12, something like that. Maybe like 7th grade.
Okay.
And that just like changed the whole thing because I'm like, dang, I can play guitar and sing. I like this. So I was like,
do you think that was part of like a natural that brought out something,
definitely,
a
because
natural endowment that you already had?
yeah,
just
I
by
definitely
her
I definitely already
introducing
knew
that?
like how to play things by ear,
Mhm.
and sing pretty well for a child.
Okay.
Because the next year I started doing gigs where I was getting paid. So it just kind of like put a spark because that was the only time we really sat down and she taught me anything on the guitar, like how to properly hold my fingers or do anything. Because after that, I just took off. I wanted to play everything by ear, open strings, two finger chords, and things like that, and just figure out everything. Because even now, I can't go a day without touching a guitar. It's very
Right.
hard. Like I feel out of place not picking up a guitar, and it's like since then, I've probably owned about 10 guitars.
Okay. All
So
right.
my mom was mad when I was a kid because every time we go in the store, I'm like, I'm trying to find a guitar in here. I don't care what kind of store this is. I want to see if they got a guitar in the back. And they
Okay.
would, and I would get it. So
Right.
it was like a little spark to a big flame.
Okay.
So
Well, I would like to hear another song
okay.
if you don't mind and everything like that. Would you like to introduce another song?
Yes, I would. Again, you guys are listening to WPPM 106.5 FM. And this last song I'm going to do for you guys is Kiss and Tell, my most popular song. I said, baby, you beauty. Whoa. She got them blue butterflies right behind her ear. Lip gloss always clear. Lashes always feel shotgun when I ride out. Thighs out chilling up in the nightclub. Smoking dope high as well. She suck up on her fingers when the ice cream melt. Yeah. Love her cause she loves herself and me, but no one else. We kiss and tell, we kiss and tell, yeah. We kiss and tell. Maybe she could be the one I need for life. Maybe I could be the one to treat her right. She ain't going nowhere but the next position. We on a mission. Love ain't all we want, but we in it. She start with a finish. We the best team and we winning. They do the thing you do when you sinning. Cause I'm cherishing every minute. Little baby, just go ahead and get it. Blow a bag on it all, what's the limit? That's why I rock your name on my fitted. Why we never had a hard time being committed. I love her cause she loves herself and me, but no one knows. We kiss and tell, we kiss and tell, yeah. We kiss and tell. I call her Nina cause she stay right by my side. And I don't ever trip, I know she's down to ride. Ooh, we both on us, so we gon' be alright. Baby, I'm alive. Baby, I'm a liar. She got them blue butterflies right behind her ear. Lip gloss always clear. Lashes always feel shotgun when I ride out. Thighs out chilling up in the nightclub. Smoking dope high as well. But she suck up on her fingers when I hype me melt. Yeah. Love her cause she loves herself and me, but no one else. We kiss and tell, we kiss and tell, yeah, we kiss and tell, we kiss and tell. We kiss and tell. We kiss and tell. Nah, nah, yeah. So, baby, you beauty. I said, baby, you beauty.
You're listening to WPPM LP 106.5 FM Philadelphia. My name is James Hatcher, the host for the radio special Food for Thought. Joining me is BlckChld, an amazing recording artist. So I got one more question, and then we're gonna move to closing it. Okay, so um, in a scenario whereas an individual has a desire to develop a particular vocal tone, do you have a knowledgeable recommendation of a technique that can be used to enhance the projection of a singing tone? Is there any recommendation that you would have for a person that may feel like they kind of could sing, but the better their singing tone, what could they
find
do?
find your singing voice first and foremost.
Okay.
Find your singing voice.
Okay.
A lot of people imitate and they don't realize it because they're used to listening to like their favorite artists. Um, and it's crazy because also had peers that
Hmm.
want to do music or make music, and they sound exactly like their favorite artist, and you can tell
Okay.
because they haven't found their singing voice or their genre or their style
Okay.
yet. So definitely find your originality first and
So
foremost.
how can they start go by finding their singing voice or their originality? Like what
Connect.
what type of thing can they use? Is it like listening to a certain type of instrumental, or how do you think that they can find what's their singing tone?
Um,
Just not listen to music at all and just go in somewhere quiet
not
and try to
not
sing.
necessarily. I feel like there's definitely a lot of vocal exercises that I could you could YouTube how to find my singing voice, and then it
Is
would
there
come
any
up.
dietary thing that they could use to, clear their
um,
throat or whatever?
Definitely not. A lot of people just don't have the same vocal capabilities as everybody. Like that's why they have different. They have alto, contralto, they have
Mhm. Can
soprano one.
anybody sing?
I think
Do you
everybody can
think?
sing. I think everybody's very capable of singing. Does everybody have the same eclectic ability? No,
Okay.
definitely not.
Right.
Some people can. I've seen 5-year-olds, 6-year-olds. There's a boy on Instagram. I don't know, Miles, and
Uh-huh.
he's a producer. He's like 6,
Uh-huh.
and he has perfect pitch.
Right.
So there's people who are born like that, who have a knack for music, who are born with perfect pitch, who can find their key and find their originality very early, kind of like myself. But a lot of people don't have that natural
Right. So
capability. But that,
somebody that sings baritone or
yeah,
deep voice,
they
they
shouldn't
can.
try and sing soprano. No, they shouldn't try and sing soprano.
Okay.
They should go find vocal warm ups
Hmm.
and harbor into that, because vocal expansion comes with repetition. You
Right.
have to do it over again. Your voice is a muscle. It's like working out. So
Okay. So, what is your perspective on the reason why music artists may use voice altering instruments to make a song? And although the natural singing tone is appealing and pleasing to listeners, would you ever consider using a voice altering instrument to add to your lyrics, and why?
I think it definitely comes with the modernization of music, because we didn't before 2010. Everybody says T-Pain ruined music with auto tune. In a way, he did, because everybody can do it now. Everybody can do it. Everybody can throw a filter on their voice, do auto wah, and all these other plugins, and they sound like a good singer. But
Right.
you catch this person on stage live, people go to their concert, they're like, what is this?
Yeah.
This person can't sing at all, and
Right.
they're confused. But
Right.
it's because of all the technologies that have been built. As a natural performer and as somebody who performs with their raw voice, it's sometimes I'm downtown and somebody will be like, you have a filter on that mic? Is that mic have a? And I'm like,
Yeah.
no, it's lit. People have walked up to me, especially foreigners. They'll be like, is that you singing? And I have to step away from the mic and sing for them,
Right.
because if I don't, they don't think it's my voice. They think I
Right.
have a filter on the mic, or I have some type
Wow.
of dynamics. So it definitely is a point to make sure you can sing with your natural voice before you start adding all that stuff, because as a performer, not every venue that you're going to have is going to have all the fixins to throw on your voice. Not every place is capable of doing that. So
And that's very important for all the inspiring music artists out there.
mhm.
That's some very good recommendations and words to heed from. Well, once again, I thank you for being here. um would you like to close out with just one more song?
Yeah, I'm going to close you guys out with Wasted Conversations. Again, you guys are listening to WPPM 106.5 FM, and this is BlckChld. I wish that time didn't matter, 'cause I won't forget it. No way, no way, no way. 'Cause I used to let you right out with the gate, and the letters round your neck spelled out my name. And I know that by now you think things have changed, but I know that love should never feel like pain. Baby, don't spin it back. Oh yeah, you can't come around here no more. You ask me why can't we be friends? Oh yeah. Now I'm asking you what for? What for? When I wasted conversations, been wearing at my patience, yeah. I said I wasted conversations, all of the bringing me to my end, my end. So I don't wanna talk at all, I don't wanna answer your calls. When you said it was too much, please stay out of touch. Wasted conversation, and it's still running around in my head, my head. And it's like you come around some days, then you're gone the next. You don't communicate with me, I don't get no calls or texts. You don't know my heart, my heart. I swear you never played your part, your part. And all our wasted conversations, instead of wearing at my patience, yeah. I said I wasted conversations, all of them bringing me to my end, my end. So I don't wanna talk at all, I don't wanna answer your calls. When you said it was too much, stay out of touch. Wasted conversations, yeah. All of them bringing me to my end. Ooh, oh. No, no, no. Ooh, oh. No, no, yeah.
Wow. Okay. Well, thank you for joining me in a beautiful conversation and
always a
everything
pleasure.
like that. So, real quick, how can anyone who is interested in locating and listening to your music for their pleasure to do so? And can you give those who are interested in booking you to perform the information as well?
Okay. So you guys can find me on all social media platforms at BlckChld_. That's BlckChld _, no I, no A. And then you can email me at xblckchdx@gmail.com. That's xBlckChildX, no I, no A, @gmail.com.
All right. So thanks again, once again, for joining me. Um, Everybody, thank you for joining me, James Hatcher, to another beautiful episode. And I would like to announce my book called Food for Thought: Literary Concept to Theoretical Reasoning. That is written and art illustrated by myself, James Hatcher, which is now available on your online and local bookstores. I would also like to thank Dakota Jenkins of Writers Branding LCC and the Reading Glass Books bookstore. You can also reach me on my Facebook page, James Hatcher. Also, check out previous episodes of Food for Thought radio special on my YouTube channel. Just type in James Hatcher Food for Thought radio specials. Once again, uh, on your endeavors, take care of yourself. Say your name.
Hi, I'm Kathy
Kathy
from the Reading Glass Book.
from the Reading Glass Books, and she's a big contributing factor here to the book and everything. So,
I'm Lynn. Yes,
Lynn.
hi.
and she has really inspired me to move on in a little bit of time that I just met her. They both book publishers, and I really appreciate them. So I'm just giving them their flowers and let them know I appreciate it. Let the world know that I appreciate them. They're so supportive. They actually got me in a bookstore, and they're playing one of my radio specials that's on television, which is Food for Thought. So thanks once again for reading books, Reading Glass Bookstore, and I'll catch y'all on the flip.